Modern life is held together by an invisible framework of contracts and property rights. 10,000 years ago, the environment between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers offered no such safety. It was a landscape of sudden, violent floods, followed by months of lethal drought. When humans stopped moving and started farming, they entered a geographic trap. While a nomadic tribe can follow the rain, a settled farmer is tethered to a single patch of dirt. In this new reality, one bad season meant the end of the community. As these settlements grew from a few families into groups of hundreds, they hit a social limit. They were generating surplus food and living alongside strangers. Trust could no longer be managed through personal relationships alone. To survive the climate and the growing population, they had to engineer a system of social protocols that functioned as reliably as a stone wall. Long before the first monuments were raised, the foundations of civilization were built on the invention of abstract organization. This is the geographic reality of Choga Mami, a settlement from 6000 BCE. Spring meltwater brings silt-heavy floods, which quickly evaporate into a baking summer. The Samarran culture responded by manipulating the physical landscape itself, moving beyond a total reliance on seasonal rainfall. They constructed the first artificial canal systems. These human-cut lines diverted river water to create predictable fields of wheat. Maintaining kilometers of trenches required coordinated effort from hundreds. This forced the community to develop unprecedented collective organization. To the north, the Halaf culture was building increasingly dense settlements. Their ability to generate wealth created an urgent need to secure it. The technical skill of this society is evident in their pottery. These vessels feature paper-thin walls and perfectly symmetrical linework, indicating highly specialized craft traditions. As surplus grain was stored in thousands of vessels like these, ownership became harder to track. In a village of hundreds, the community needed a way to identify an owner and prevent theft. The solution was the stone stamp seal. The carved matrix on the left pressed a unique image into wet clay, shown on the right. By stamping a clay stopper on a jar, a farmer created visual proof of ownership. A broken seal meant disturbed contents. This replaced the need to physically stand guard over a stockpile. For the first time, a visual symbol enforced a social agreement, turning a private container into a legally recognized asset. With secured surpluses, these early settlements gained economic leverage. They began to exchange their excess food for resources their own land could not provide. Raw materials like obsidian were imported over vast distances. This sharp volcanic glass was moved from specific regions to sites thousands of kilometers away. The routes used to transport that stone carried more than just raw material. As traders moved along the riverbanks, they distributed shared concepts, including the mathematical divisions appearing in their pottery designs. This network of trade synchronized isolated villages into a shared economy, driven by the same administrative needs. These mud brick foundations are the physical remains of cultures that eventually faded, but the systems they developed were inherited by the civilizations that followed. The irrigation techniques at Choga Mami became the template for the massive agricultural networks that would later power the Sumerian city-states. The small stamp seals used to mark property evolved into complex accounting tokens, eventually becoming Cuneiform, the world's first written language. These scripts were ledgers designed to track the same grain and oil shipments that the Halaf had started marking with clay centuries before. An 8,000-year-old pot or carved stone seal is evidence of the exact moment humanity chose to organize the world. Those first attempts at administration remain the bedrock of the civilization we rely on today.